Modern survival gear just met its match in a substance that's, well, millions of years old. While standard torches burn out in just minutes, this prehistoric chemical compound somehow defies physics and stays lit for hours. We're resurrecting an ancient fuel source here, one that really proves our ancestors were master engineers long before the industrial age ever began. Watch a pinewood torch. Wrap it tight, soak it in animal fat, set it alight. It burns fast, it burns bright, and within 12 minutes, sometimes less, it's dead. Now just imagine you are deep inside a cave system, 40 meters underground, following a tunnel that splits into 3 more tunnels. Your torch dies. You are in absolute darkness, not city darkness, not bedroom darkness. This is the kind of darkness that has weight to it, the kind that presses against your eyes. Archaeological evidence tells us that prehistoric humans explored those exact cave systems. They painted those walls, they carved those ceilings, and they did it with light sources that lasted far longer than any simple torch. The question has always been, how? The answer bleeds from the trees. Walk into an old pine forest and look for the wounded ones. Trees where the bark has split open, where a branch snapped off years ago, where insects bored in, and the tree fought back. That fight produces resin. It oozes out thick and golden, and over time it hardens into nodules of dense crystalline amber. This is concentrated energy. This is the tree's immune system, and honestly, it is extraordinary fuel. Raw pine resin contains terpenes, volatile organic compounds that ignite quickly and burn hot. Too hot, actually. In its raw form, resin flares, pops, and drips burning liquid. It's dangerous and, frankly, wasteful. But ancient humans figured out that if you cook it, gently heat it over a low flame until the volatile terpenes partially evaporate, what remains is a thick, controlled, viscous paste that behaves completely differently. It becomes manageable. It becomes a tool. The transformation from sticky sap to workable fuel is tactile and real. You can feel the shift under a wooden stirring stick. It moves slower. It pulls like warm toffee. That viscosity is everything. Here is where prehistoric humans stopped being survivors and became engineers. The refined resin alone still burns fast if left as a coating on bare wood. The secret is the binder. Dried cedar bark pulled apart into fine fibers. Aged moss, compressed and rolled. Even powdered charcoal scraped from old fire sites. These materials are pressed into the warm resin and worked together until the fibers are fully saturated, soaked through, not just coated on the surface. What you end up with is a composite material, a slow-release fuel system that functions almost identically to a modern lamp wick. Think of it like a car engine managing combustion. The resin is the fuel. The fibrous binder is the injector, feeding oxygen and fuel together at a controlled, metered rate. The flame doesn't race through the material, it walks. It takes only what the capillary system allows it to take, and in doing so, it sustains itself across time. This is not luck. This is not accident. This is deliberate chemical understanding, passed from hand to hand across generations, long before anyone wrote a single word about it. Light 3 things at the same time: a tallow candle, the gold standard of pre-industrial lighting, a kerosene lamp representing early modern fuel technology, and a composite pine resin torch built exactly the way the evidence suggests ancient peoples built them. What happens next is the part that stays with you. The tallow candle shrinks steadily and predictably. The kerosene lamp burns clean and bright. But the resin torch does something unexpected. The flame self-regulates. When the wind hits it, the outer shell of cooled resin acts as a natural windbreak, protecting the burning core. When the heat climbs too high, the resin's melting point pulls energy away from the flame and redistributes it downward through the binder. The torch finds its own temperature and holds it. Hours pass. The tallow is gone. The resin torch is still burning, throwing warm amber light across whatever surface it faces. Steady, purposeful, alive. Some documented experiments have recorded burn times of 90 minutes to well over 3 hours, depending on torch size and resin saturation. That is not a party trick. That is engineering. Those ancient people who crawled into cave systems with their resin lamps weren't being reckless. They were equipped. They understood their materials in ways we are only beginning to fully appreciate. They conquered the Ice Age night with chemistry harvested from wounded trees. They proved that endurance doesn't require complexity, it requires understanding. The best fuel isn't always the most modern one. Sometimes it is the one that the natural world refined over millions of years before we ever thought to ask. Pine resin isn't a curiosity, it's a lesson. The wilderness around you is not just scenery. It is a laboratory of high-performance materials, most of them untapped, many of them waiting to outperform the disposable, petroleum-based alternatives we've grown so dependent on. Our ancestors knew this, they lived it, and the flame they built still burns if you know how to light it. If this changed how you see the natural world, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need to hear this. Share it with anyone who thinks ancient people were primitive. And subscribe to The Survival Historian, because history and endurance are never done teaching us what we forgot we already knew.